you're probably feeling a lot of despair and you're feeling ridiculed and you're feeling like you're an idiot because you lost 50% of your money. So don't allow anybody to ridicule you if you bought at the all-time high, if you didn't know what you were doing. What is going on, guys? Welcome back to the Traveling Crypto. So today I wanted to talk about the concept of dollar cost averaging. What if you put the same amount of money every single increment, whether that be 1 week or 2 weeks or every month? You can put a certain amount of your paycheck, for instance, every increment. What would that look like if you did so specifically on Bitcoin from the all-time high? So this is mainly aimed at those people who might not be very experienced traders, or for those people who don't really care to day trade or swing trade. I want to give you a perspective that not all is lost, right? If you're one of those people that bought at 20K or 18K or whatever, I want to give you a picture, a realistic picture of what would happen if you started averaging your purchase price out by spending an incremental amount on a scheduled basis. And in this case, we'll use an example of 2 weeks and just say that you invest $200 out of your paycheck every 2 weeks and invest it into Bitcoin regardless of the price. Here you'll see that I have a spreadsheet pulled up, and this is just outlining the weeks since the beginning of January, going every 2 weeks until the last 2 week period, which is July 16th. The next one will be this next Monday, I believe. So July 16th, up from based on the date of this recording, that is the last 2 week period. And I've included the closing price of every week. Now this is based off of the chart and trading view. This is the weekly chart and trading view here. If you look at each candle, you'll see up here on the C, this stands for closing. So this is what the closing price was for the week. So I went from the first candle in January, which is here, and every 2 weeks assume that we are buying $200 worth of Bitcoin. So $200 here, $200 here, $200 here. And as you can see, the price is falling. But when you're dollar cost averaging, you're not taking price into consideration. So here's the spreadsheet here. Now, if you invested $200 every 2 weeks starting on the first, you would have a total of $3,000 in the market. If you invested $3,000 as a lump sum, right, not dollar cost averaging, and let's just take the first week of January since that is our example and we want to compare apples to apples. The closing price this first week of January is $16,215. So if you bought in January at $16,215, put all your money, all your budget, so say $3,000, all of that into one price point, you would have been down, I would venture to say, around 15%. The price is currently $8,218 divided by 16,215. So you'd be down 50%, almost exactly 50% of your money if you bought a lump sum in January. So dollar cost averaging, pulling up the spreadsheet again. So here, hopefully you guys can see this and it's not too small. Let me actually see if I can make this bigger. There you go. So you spend $200 January 1st, $200 January 15th, $200 January 29th, and so forth and so on. Here's the closing price of Bitcoin according to the charts. And here is the amount of Bitcoin that you're able to buy based on the price and your fixed $200 investment every 2 weeks. So if you did that every 2 weeks, here are the numbers. I totaled them out already. If you did it every 2 weeks, your average closing price would be $8,900. And the amount invested, as we said before, the total is $3,000, and you would have ended up with 0.3589 blah 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 Bitcoin. Here is the amazing thing, that this is what I'm saying, is that, you know, if you learn how to dollar cost average, you don't have to learn how to read the charts or, you know, try to figure out when the bottom is or when the peak is, or try to swing trade because you see people on the internet do that. Newsflash, a lot of them don't know what the hell they're talking about, and most of them are probably lying anyway. But you don't have to be a technical guru to do this. This is just an investment strategy, investing into an asset class, diversifying your portfolio. You may own stocks or gold or, you might have your money in a savings account and you're wanting to invest into Bitcoin. So the amazing thing here is your average price is $8,900. It's not far off from current price, which is $8,200. There's this notion that you're a sucker if you bought at the all-time high, especially if you are subscribing to this notion, this crypto notion of hodling, which, I mean, that's and a topic all on its own that I'll get into in future videos. But especially if you subscribe to something like hodling and you bought at the all-time high, which makes absolutely no sense, you're probably feeling a lot of despair and you're feeling ridiculed and you're feeling like you're an idiot because you lost 50% of your money. But if you over time just dollar cost average, DCA for short, if you do that, you see that in the long run, you'll be fine. And this has been proven in other markets, the S&P 500, gold, Fortune 500 stocks, etc. This has been proven over time that markets tend to go up over time if you dollar cost average. And if you bought at the high and you dollar cost averaged, then you are obviously taking advantage of the downtrend that comes from an all-time high, which is why your purchase price, your average purchase price, ends up only being $8,900, which is very close to what we are today, which is a far cry from the all-time high in the $16,000, $17,000, $18,000, $20,000 ranges, right? And you would have had 0.35 Bitcoin. Now, if we calculate what 0.35 Bitcoin is, or in today's prices, 0.35 times 82, currently the price is $82.22, $2,877, right? $2,877. This cost you $3,000. You are not that far off. So you are still in a great position. Meaning, this is as if you bought Bitcoin at current prices. So don't allow anybody to ridicule you if you bought at the all-time high, if you didn't know what you were doing. Obviously, there are certain trading mechanisms that are a little more advanced that I always preach, such as, having a stop loss or trailing stop. But these are things that, you don't have to learn if you don't have a penchant for it, if you don't have the time for it or the patience, or, all you're doing is looking to invest your money into a different asset class to diversify your main portfolio. And if that's the case, don't overlook dollar cost averaging. It is a great way to get your investment in headache free, especially if you're in it for the long term. Now, let me make sure I get this out and say that don't put any money into the market that you're not willing to lose. So consider that these funds will be tied up for the long term. And that is the only way, really. I mean, unless you're a very successful day trader, that is, that's the chances of that are like making it to the NBA. I mean, you really have to work at it to be a day trader. A lot of people think that, oh yeah, I can just, open up TradingView and become a day trader. No, it takes a lot of practice, a lot of experience, a lot of exposure to different markets, and seeing that markets can actually fluctuate extremely unexpectedly. Anyway, so this is a very headache-free way of investing into an asset class that you are wanting to partake in. Lastly, I'll say that this also teaches us something about patience, which is a virtue that really is non-existent, especially with traders who aren't experienced. This is a long-term game. Think of it as such, right? You're not going to get rich overnight. There was a time maybe in crypto where that was possible. That's not the case now. Anyway, I hope you got something out of this. Go ahead and leave a thumbs up if you found any of this information valuable. Leave a comment, join the Discord if you want to ask me a question, or just leave it in the comments and I'll try to respond. Follow me on Twitter and Instagram. Instagram is where I post most of my travel photos and travel stories. If you are interested in any one-on-one coaching in terms of technical analysis, portfolio management, etc., link is in the description. Hit up that link. Don't forget to subscribe. Stay safe out there. Peace.